You guys have seen it on videos past, but I'm obsessed with live rock. This week we're going to be going over and checking out some amazing Australian live rock. What's going on, reefers? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Blaine. This is the King Tide Corals channel. If you guys are tuning in, I'm really excited about this video. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects here in the hobby, and that's live rock. Yes, I picked up some more awesome live rock, and this live rock's actually sourced out of Australia. Some really sweet stuff. Can't wait to show you guys. But first, I'm going to let you guys know I sourced it from Unique Corals. Shout out to them. I'm not sponsored by them. I bought the rock. It was expensive rock. I still bought it because I want pet rocks, but it's going to be really fun to showcase this rock, show it off, and show you guys where it's going to end up. Hint, hint, it's going to end up in the frag tank to seed that bad boy. Let's go and jump back or go back in time, see what happened when we received this live rock. Well, reefers, the eagle has landed, and it is time to dig into this Unique Corals box. I am so pumped for this box right now. You guys know I really love live rock, and I like traditional live rock, not just rock you're gonna get from a fish store, you know, something dry rock they've been sitting in a tub for a while and they call it live rock. I'm talking legit live rock, stuff that you're getting from the ocean, some really awesome cultured stuff. And what I have in this box right here is gonna be some epic rocks. So let's just go ahead, cut to the chase, get right to getting this thing open, and we'll start talking more about what kind of rock we just grabbed. Man, oh man, is this stuff sweet. I'm sure you guys saw a little bit of it, you know, as I was going through and unboxing it, but this is easily some of the coolest rock I've ever encountered. I'm not too sure about anything hitchhiking wise that's alive, you know, that's not always the case. I'll probably end up finding something sooner or later, but just the structure and how these are just developed. It's really cool branch style rock. I've never utilized any branch rock in any builds before, so this is going to be super fun. I'm really excited about this stuff. Let's go ahead, just start working on getting some salt water ready. I have it prepped and ready to go. It's been mixing all night. So let's go ahead, get a tank cleaned out, ready to go. Let's set up a sponge filter, get some new water in there, and let's get our epic new live rock in there and ready to check out. Holy. This stand right here with the mangrove bowl, the beta tank, a tank we'll talk about later, the lobster tank, and this extra UNS 5N is going to be the perfect place for me to set up this live rock. I'm thinking a really simple setup. I have the salt water ready. I'll add a heater. We'll do a sponge filter, and then we'll add the rock. I'm not going to have anything else. I just want to have an area where we can check it out, watch it over, until one, the frag tank's ready and I can use it to seed it, and also when I'm actually ready and also able to use it in escape. So let's go ahead, get some water in this tank and get this tank ready to roll.
Seconds later.
As for the filtration for this system, I want to keep it very simple and not try to get too ahead of myself. I want to keep it really lax since this is just going to be for my pet rocks at the time. But what I'm going to be using is this air pump and this beta or fry little sponge filter. So I think this is going to be a perfect little amount of filtration because the rocks are their own filtration almost at this point. But it's going to be good to add some into this tank. So let's go ahead and get that all set up real quick. Now that we have our UNS 5N up and running with salt water and a little bit of a filter, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this live rock. This stuff is amazing. I've checked it out even more. I've had the opportunity to kind of take a quicker look at it, and there's just so many old skeletons of corals and sponges littering it, and there's macroalgae and so many different things that are living on this rock. It's pretty unbelievable. I have a lot of really high hopes for it. I'm interested to see if anything ends up coming out of it, but let's go ahead, just drop it into this water and then take a look at it when it's wet. My first initial reaction of this rock is very good and very positive. I'm excited about all of the growth that's on it. There's tons of sponges, algae, corallines, different kind of crazy things growing on it. And I'm excited to see how it settles in and develops over the course of the next couple days. I want to give it some time, maybe a couple hours, and then I'm going to come back to the camera, pick it up, show you guys what's going on with the rock, and maybe some things have peeped out. And also I'm going to let you know how everything's looking. I have the heater running on the tank. I got the little sponge filter running, so all is well and all is set for this live rock. Once again, big shout out to Unique Corals. It's not sponsored. I bought this rock myself. I wanted this rock myself, but I just want to say thank you so much for some really epic stuff, and thank you for bringing me back to that nostalgic feel of old live rock. You know, that live rock we used to get, not just the live rock that we supposedly get now. So some really cool stuff, but we'll go ahead and pick up the camera here in a couple hours.
Later.
So it's actually the next day. I gave the rock some chance to kind of hang out and get used to its new little system, and I've gotten a chance to take a better look at it, and I am so happy with the growth that came on this rock. It's got some really amazing stuff. I asked Unique Corals if anyone had gotten any crazy hitchhikers. They said that one order actually ended up receiving a goby in its rock. I haven't seen anything too crazy, too cool inside the rock, but on the outside of it, there's just all kinds of amazing stuff like coral skeleton and this cool sponge here, some great coralline algae, just all kinds of really cool stuff. And the structure of it is really unique. This piece especially kind of reminds me of an old like SPS colony that maybe kind of turned into rock over the course of time, but really cool stuff. I'm really happy about it. I'm very excited for what's to come with this rock. I have some plans, some ideas, but I think for the time being, this is going to be living in here and hanging out for the time. I added some copepods to the rock. I wanted to make sure that I'm seeding this stuff as properly as possible. And I wanted to get some in there, add a little microfauna, but I'm very excited about this rock. And again, thank you to Unique Corals. But if anything pops up and shows itself, I'll be sure to let you guys know.
Several days later.
I'm really excited about this, but what I'm really excited about is we have an open section right here, and we need to get some rock into this tank and get this thing seeded. So we have that Australian live rock from Unique Corals, so we're gonna go ahead and grab that out of the bucket or out of the tank, put it in a bucket, bring it out here, let's drop it into this. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I feel there's a lot of risks and rewards when adding live rock to a reef tank, but I'm just gonna go over some of my risks really quick and some of my rewards that I think are worthy of noting for you guys. A couple of the risks for adding live rock to a reef tank is you risk adding a lot of hitchhikers that you don't want. There's a lot of nuisance algae that possibly can come in. There could be red planaria, some pests like that, but that is definitely one main risk of adding live rock to a tank. The second one that I think is very important to mention is that live rock, when it's sent in and brought over to you, is normally going to be sent in wet newspaper or something of that sort. So there's going to be a lot of die-off that happens during that time frame. When it goes from being in the ocean to being in your tank, there's a period where there's going to be some die-off happening. Now, one thing to note and make sure you definitely take care of is whenever you add live rock to your system, new live rock that is, you're going to want to do a lot of water changes and make sure that you keep those ammonia levels down because of all of the die-off. Some of the benefits of adding live rock to your system are a lot of things, but some that I'm going to note real quick are you start off with a great cycle and seeding opportunity right off the start. Live rock is a really great thing to add some really great beneficial bacteria, possibly some good hitchhikers like copepods, maybe some bristle stars, things like that that can really help to kickstart your tank. Another thing that's great about live rock is you start a natural looking scape. In my opinion, yes, they use man-made rock that's cultured in the ocean, but a lot of the time nature is going to weather it down and change it to the shape that more of nature shaped and formed. So I think there's a lot of opportunities, some better shaped rocks, not nearly as much man-made looking structures in your reef tank, and you can be able to create more of a natural scape. I really enjoy that, and it's one of my favorite benefits to adding live rock to a tank. Well, thought I'd give you a quick little update of what's been going on with the rock. It's been in here for a couple weeks now. Rock is doing awesome. I think it's seeded this frag tank very appropriately. The frag tank is looking good. We're filling in. We've starting to get some soft corals in here. A lot of really cool toadstools, nice coral. Just snagged this nice cabbage coral here. Fish are doing good. The clownfish are living in here. Yellow tang is happy. We've recently added this nice whitetail coal tang. He's a little shy still. We're working on that, but all is well in the frag tank. The live rock is kicking butt. I think it's a great addition. I think it was the perfect thing to do for this frag tank. But just wanted to give you guys a quick little update what's been going on with the live rock in the frag tank and how well it's been working out for me. It was fun showcasing this live rock to you guys and adding it into the frag tank. I think it's going to bring some really great beneficial bacteria, some awesome filtration layers to be added into the frag tank, and I think it's just going to be a good addition over the course of time. I want to say thank you so much to Unique Corals for sourcing this live rock. I'm in no way sponsored. I bought all this live rock myself, but I want to say thank you to the source for being able to grab such awesome live rock, because being able to bring that kind of stuff and give it to the people like us in the hobby, it's very cool to have that opportunity to be able to jump on that and get some myself. So thank you again to Unique Corals. If you guys have tuned in all the way to the end of the video, I want to say thank you so much. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button and join the King Tide Corals family. Until next time, guys, happy reefing.